Security matters now. Minister of Defence Mohammed Badaru has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to resolving the ongoing farmer-header clashes in Plateau State. Speaking in Jos during a meeting with opinion leaders, traditional rulers and security agencies, Badaru expressed deep concern over the continued violence despite efforts to address the issue. The meeting took place at the 3-division headquarters in Bassa Local Government Area. Badaru warned against partitioning communities along ethnic or religious lines, describing such divisions as disastrous. He emphasized the need for harmonious coexistence and vowed that the government would not entertain demands for segregation. Well, to discuss this, I am being joined by Inko Taria Ipalibo, a security expert. Good morning to you and thank you for being here on News Now.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What has been the effectiveness of the federal government's efforts to address the farmer-header clashes over the years? Do you think the measures implemented so far have proven to be sufficient enough to prevent further violence?
The methods that they've implemented over the years has not been effective enough. That's why we keep seeing a reoccurrence of attacks and counterattacks on both sides. So for the minister reaffirming the commitment of the federal government to put an end, I feel that's just a political statement, and the issue has gone beyond politics. It's high time they take decisive measures to prevent the attacks.
All right. How have the conflicts impacted the social fabric and the cohesion of communities in Plateau State? What role do you think ethnic and religious tensions have played in exacerbating the clashes?
Well, the foundation for the crisis has always been rooted to religious and ethnic divides and various ideologies. If you consider the history of the farmer headers crisis, it has always been based on certain religious sentiments and certain ethnic sentiments, and the unwillingness of both parties to come together to live in peace, in one accord, and harmoniously. And of course, in recent time, it has been escalated with infiltration of certain militant elements of the headers divide.
Well, Mr. Pilabo, let me ask you one more question. What are the potential long-term solutions to the farmer-header clashes? And how can the government and local communities work together to promote peaceful coexistence and sustainable development?
The solution, part of the recommendations that we've made at certain forums where we belong, is to have a segmented part of the community where the headers can keep their animals, where they could keep their animals and rear them like a ranch, rather than allowing them to graze in the open field. Because the traditional occupation of the Plateau people is essentially farming, and they are farming. Every available land is a farmland to the Plateau man. And so if you allow the headers to graze openly with their animals, they would trespass into the various farms of the indigents, and they will not take that lightly. So if you want to solve the problem beyond politics, then there should be grazing centers for the headers where their cattle will be restricted to grazing, and so there will be no trespassing into the farmlands of the indigents. I think that, to a long extent, would provide peace.
Thank you, Mr. Inko Taria Ipalibo, for joining our security experts and shedding light on this particular topic.
Thank you for having me.
Great.